Alright, we are live. What's going on, everybody, to episode 5 of the DRTcast on Friday, August 8th, 2014. And it is pretty much the, it's pretty much the podcast before this Saturday, and it's the start of Worlds 2014, and of course, the sneak peek for Duelist Alliance. So hopefully you guys are going to get enough sleep in, because it's going to be a very busy day in Yu-Gi-Oh! Land tomorrow. So with us, of course, is our usual cast of Yu-Gi-Oh! Brethren. From the DRT side, of course, is Justin Sanders, and one of our other buddy admins, Paul.
Yo.
What's up?
So what are you guys doing tonight on your Fridays?
I've been sleeping all day.
Yeah, it pretty much covers what I was doing prior to this.
Woke up at 3 today.
She's 3 in the afternoon.
Yes.
See, I can't really sleep that long, because I know for a fact that it's just hard for me to go back to sleep during I don't know, maybe around 1 o'clock or something like that. But it's just, I don't know, getting up at 7 is hard enough as it is, but not 10 p.m. that'd be too late. 10 a.m. is usually the worst time for me. But in any case, we are going to be talking about a few things tonight, so if you guys have any Q&A topics for this evening, just send them over to the DRT's official Gmail account at duelistoftheroundtable@gmail.com, and we will pretty much answer those at the end of the podcast. And once again, most of the members are out. Gary Romans is actually going to be at a competition tomorrow, doing some music, I think is what he's going to be doing, mostly DJing some soundbite stuff. So wish him the best of luck for next week, or not next week, for this weekend, and hopefully he comes back with that Duelist of the Round Table gold around his waist, or whatever competition he's going to. Right. Still, best of luck to you, Gary, and hope you do well, man, tomorrow. Let's see. Cyber, there's no telling where he's at. Last week he was busy, but this week there's no telling where. And, of course, David is currently having to deal with a little bit of a crisis, so we wish him the best of luck on his journey tonight. So, other than that, some of the other members, we have no clue, but it's just me, Justin, and Paul, as we pretty much put in our predictions and talking about some topics that you guys have asked for us on the Facebook page. Not as many votes as last time, but hopefully we will be able to do more votes, maybe in the near future. But we have a good enough topic lineup for tonight. One of them that was not even on the agenda originally, but it was brought up by Paul. Thanks for that. And it's mostly about Worlds, and basically talking about predictions and what type of deck or what country will take the gold for this year. So, if either one of you want to get started with your predictions, I'll go last pretty much.
Right now, it's very interesting because we have the new adapted ban list that combines the TCG and OCG lists.
Right.
So it's very interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what decks the international players choose to play, because it's more relevant for the TCG, because hat decks are not usable now. This Worlds format pretty much kills the deck.
Really?
And yeah, it actually does, because the artifact the level 5 artifact is limited, I believe.
Moraltech?
Yes, him. And that just pretty much kills the deck. I know the hands are TCG exclusives. Is that right?
Yes, they are TCG. Well, Dragons of Legend, I think. Most of that is.
Yeah. So hat decks are pretty much dead. The Geargia Curry build is pretty much pretty solid from what I've been hearing. It's been topping a lot. Pure Garigas can't hold their own with the one trap. I hear Lightsworn rules are a pretty good contender. They see a lot of play.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a really big contender for this year, but
Yeah.
I'm honestly going to be pushing like somewhere close to like E-Dragon territory because that's where probably a lot of the decks from last year were using a lot of those.
Yeah. E Dragon Lightsworns I think are gonna make a big hit, but I think the deck to watch out for is Infernities. They
Yeah,
see a lot of play. They're
yeah,
doing a lot of
that's
damage.
you know,
Yeah, those are the decks I think we're gonna see a lot. I don't know, we could see some rogue deck.
yeah, it's possible to see Infernities do it because that's been a deck that's been talked about a lot lately. That's been trying to get like a big boost for some kind of like return, like tier one place like it did before, which is still a good deck, but it was just a lot of stuff that hurt it to where it's not being able to see much play. But I mean,
Actually,
still,
I believe Infernities and Shadows caused Armageddon Knight to be limited in the OCG.
oh, there's a build for that.
Yeah, there's an Infernity Shadow what's it called? And in Japan right now, it's a Shadow Infernity format right now.
That is so crazy
Oh,
because I've
that's-
never seen that before, to be honest.
Really?
yeah, I've never heard of a Shadow Infinity hybrid deck.
Oh no! Not the. It's not a hybrid. It's not
Okay.
what's dominating right now.
Okay, gotcha.
Because I have a friend that lives not in Tokyo, but it's a suburb, and he goes to like 5 different locals in the area,
Must
and
be
he's pretty much my OCG informant.
sources.
Yeah.
Uh,
Uh,
well,
It's pretty much what's dominating in his area at least.
So he's basically your chic OCG kind of guy.
Yeah.
All right, what do you got, Justin?
I agree with the since after what he said, hands being pretty much dead because of the combined list and Gear Geocarry are able to burst down anybody. They just wait for their time to activate and just go off. The same thing with Light Sworns. They just get their resources together and they burst you down before you can do anything. So Gear Geo Light Sworn definitely have a they have a they have a time to shine now because Hat is just not going to be there.
Spellbook and Mermail are also a thing.
Oh yes, yes.
Yeah,
He's not
because
free
I
of that.
remember.
Mermails.
Yeah, I remember Spellbooks actually being like the top two decks of I think it was like last World Championships.
Yeah, there was one Spellbook in that deck in the top 4. The other 3 were dragons.
And I'm not. I guess I don't remember if this is true or not, but is Spellbook a judgment in the OCG now, or is it still TCG?
I am even not sure. I'm not. I don't even know.
Because I can't remember if it is or not, because I do know the card itself is banned, but I wasn't really sure if it was in OCG yet or not.
That'd be something.
Oh, if it is, like, then, you know, yeah, spellbooks would be pretty stupid to be able to use in the entire tournament. Yeah, spellbooks, I agree on that. Infernities is a definite possibility to be able to play, because I believe Trishula is not banned in the OCG. So,
Trishula isn't banned in the OCG, but they ban any cards that slip through the whatchamacallit. Because Trishula is not banned for them, but it was banned for us. Because of that, our that immediately makes it banned for Worlds.
okay, so it basically makes it to where it's like an
Yeah.
even playing field for everybody
Yeah.
else. Okay.
They try to make it like that.
Yeah.
I preferably yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I see the benefits of that, but yeah, actually, yeah, it would probably be better just to to keep the ban list like in a combined format, so that way
Mhm.
it's like nobody gets the opportunity to use these cards and actually make it to where it's like an even playing field for everyone else.
Yeah. Oh, and
So yeah.
Spellbook of Judgment is banned for Worlds.
Okay, so
Yes, it
that's
is.
yeah. I can see that since like one of the other cards from OCG is banned, that the stuff from TCG is banned as well. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's going to be interesting to see how decks that can't use their cards now basically have to use like some sort of like replacement tech choices.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see some cards like those actually get chosen over many others, but we'll have to see what happens tomorrow. And I can't really think of any Dark Horse decks, but I think I'm probably going to have to go with E-Dragon, like some kind of E-Dragon variant, little hybrid that somebody's going to be able to use, maybe like E-Dragon Plants, because I could probably see that being a thing, but
I think the E-Dragon Lightsworn hybrid is build is going to be very good because
Hmm.
I was at last month I was at Anime Expo and they had they had their own Yu-Gi-Oh tournament and I decided to it was one of the main reasons I went. It was very horribly organized and don't get me wrong. It was like, oh my god, this is really bad organization. Because Konami actually wasn't the one who was organizing. It was the actual anime expo people that were organizing. And I'm like, oh, that's why. And I played in a couple rounds. 4 of the 5 rounds I played were Lightsworn E-Dragons.
mm,
So that kind of tipped me off. Like, okay, this deck is really strong. It's really prevalent. I thank God, like I sided out for them, or I chose my side deck for the day, for the days for them. But I kept on asking why are you playing E-Dragons? Because like it's the most of them told me because it's so versatile and it's so explosive that there's no reason they told me there's literally no reason not to play it, and I guess I have to believe them. 4 of the 5 people I played were playing it. That's a huge percentage. That's 80%.
it's just it's a very boss type deck that can really do some heavy amount of damage just
Yeah,
from
because
spamming a lot of good stuff out.
they have so many big hitters. They have the whatchamacallit. They have the dragons. They have whatchamacallit, Judgment. The light raid Diabolos. Diabolos.
Or however you pronounce it,
Yeah,
yeah.
whatever it is. They have that. They have a lot of big hitters, and like the fact is like they can spam those. And making rank 7s all day, it's like it's crazy.
And search them via Wyvern.
Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
Wyvern, yeah. The
And
Wyvern
that's mostly also for the reason of that card actually going up in price for a little while and then going back down to like I think around $4 for them now. But it usually just depends on the rarity. But still, it's a card that a lot of people use like ridiculously in the TCG.
Mm.
Which that brings me up to the next question. Is it a possibility that we could see it maybe being semi-limited or maybe even limited for the next ban list?
Mm.
You talking about Wyvern?
Yeah, for Wyvern.
Hmm.
Because I mean, it does get used a lot, but there are a lot of other tech choices that are in the deck that also make it to where it's just a very big heavy beater for an entire format.
I don't think they'll really touch Wyvern. It's more or less just a card that lets the deck do extra stuff. But I mean, if it doesn't use the Wyvern thing to search JD or anything, it'll just function like a normal Lightsworn deck.
Yeah.
So,
They only run about like I think 2 is the number.
Yeah, they'll just do what they'll just get JD like they always do and just
Wyvern isn't the problem. I don't think so.
Yeah.
It's a healthy card to have for the deck.
Yeah. Okay. It's a happy little Jolly Rancher. It just needs it.
Well, it is kind of shiny like a Jolly Rancher, mostly for its foil.
Don't need it.
Okay.
But you can't eat it by any means because I'm pretty sure somebody would get poisoning somehow from the
Right. I love foil. But yes, Geargias, Blacksworns. I say Mermels. Mermels should shine pretty well if they go against anything with that creates a complicated game state anyway.
Yeah, I don't think mermels have been touched too much, actually. I don't think.
They're still extremely strong.
Yeah, I mean they hit what is it, Gund
Oh,
down to
yeah.
1, but that was it. Everybody just switched back to Undyne controller Mermel, and just it still plays just as good. There's no
Yeah.
difference.
Well, I guess would it be possible that we might see a rise in Fire Fist players for the tournament, or is that kind of like, it's not going to happen type of
Yeah,
tech?
I am not sure. They're one of those tier 2 rogue decks that could pop up. I would commend any player that tries it out this weekend.
Right. Yeah.
It's
Farfist. It seems people have forgotten about the deck, so when it actually appears, it just kind of surprises them. So they don't like they forgot it existed and they're just not ready for it.
Are we talking about the 3.5 build or something else?
Either Firefist build in general. People
Alright. Yeah.
they just have forgotten about it because of everything else like overshadowing it.
I think that's actually a good plan because like everyone's gonna side out against the main stuff.
Right.
So yeah, I would probably say like there's gonna be maybe just one deck that's gonna really surprise everybody at the tournament. So I mean, it's possible that that might actually be the deck that's gonna really surprise everybody else. But I'm trying to think of one other deck that could probably make it over there that would be a surprise factor, but I can't really seem to think of any. Or maybe Scraps, but
Oh my
like I
god.
said,
They would have to have oh wait, Duelist Alliance isn't legal for the worlds, right? Are they?
no, because the sneak peek is the main reason
Yes,
why.
yes, yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, like On Eyes and that thing would be like, yeah, that deck is
So
stupid good.
right now, I'm actually the reason why I earlier said I wanted a Ying Zhang where to create the cosmic dragons.
Right.
In Japan, there's a build called Cosmic Scraps.
Cosmic
Ooh.
Scraps.
Basically, what it's pretty much scraps with supplies, supply unit and stuff. So they run 3 of the continuous Ying Zhang traps. Basically, when the traps face up on the field, every time a card you control will be destroyed by battle or by card effect, you can special summon 1 Ying Zhang dragon from your deck. So you can see how crazy that can be with scraps in their self popping effects.
So you basically get search and you also get draw power.
You get the draw, and then you get the summon from Scrap Factory. So
And
It doesn't specify Yang Zing has to die, does it?
Yeah, so it's really good. I've seen FTKs with it.
wow.
So that's why I really want Ying Zhang's.
I mean, I've had Justin. He can even vouch for me on this. I've had Scraps since like the very first set that they came out of, which I was thinking
Duelist Revolution.
Long time.
And I mean, I would be playing with those before, and I was always looking to revamp them. So right as soon as Pendulum started coming out, and then Squad Unit was out as well, I was literally pumped to be playing Scraps all over again.
Yeah.
So I got everything except my Squad Units, my Pendulums, and I'm honestly thinking about the Cosmic Dragons.
Yeah.
So,
I'm going after Yang Zings myself. I like them, even though they're stupidly hollowed out for no
They're
reason.
they're hollowed out. The synchro is I believe secret,
And ulti.
and yeah.
which that's pretty dumb. But
Then all the 4-star and below ones are super, and the trap is.
And
The
the
trap
tuner's
is-
ultra.
Yeah, they're ridiculously
I
high.
don't know what it's like. Why?
wait, is there one tuner or is there like 2?
There's
There's
One?
2 tuners, but one of them comes out next Challengers.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, that's why. Okay.
light tuners and dual slots.
Huh.
Yeah, Shadow's got the Dragon Ruler treatment, and then they rarity hoard out Yang Zings, so now Shadows are all commons and rares except for their fusions.
It'll be interesting to see, like, when probably tomorrow when the sneak peek happens, that I'm gonna try to see if anybody pulls that stuff out, because
Yeah.
I'm interested to actually see these cards now, because I'm really interested in them variant.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted. I wish I could. That's why I wish I could go so I could get Yang Zings, because they're gonna be hard enough to get anyway.
Well, in any case, Worlds will be happening tomorrow, so it'll be interesting to see what is going to be the top deck of that entire tournament, and to see how it affects the next format in the coming months, or whenever the next one is.
Mm-hmm.
So, any case, let's see. We've basically been breezing through this for at least over 30 minutes now, so it's kind of like a little reminiscent of last week's little episode.
Yeah.
So, now for one of the topics that was basically requested by you guys on the Facebook page, and it's basically about some of the worst cards in the TCG's history. Now, I'm having a hard time remembering a lot of them, but honestly, one of my least favorite cards that came out that was a TCG exclusive, or just in the game in general, what was it? Oh, D-Boys. I remember when that thing was announced as a secret rare, because after we got Tour Guide, it was like, yeah, this is what, a TCG exclusive is supposed to be like. What are they going to come up with next? What's this, like some ghost rapper type of cards? What is this? This thing's racist. Get this off of me.
I remember, D-Boys, that was such a disappointment.
It's like pay 1,000 for each one, and they were like all level
Was it
1s.
1,000 or 2,000?
It was 1,000 for each one.
I don't know if it was bad, really bad. They tried to sell it on using it to summon the god cards,
or something like that. Either for XE summoning for the rank 1s that they were releasing, which it just didn't work out, because a lot of people were just pissed that they didn't get Rescue Rabbit and they got this damn thing.
It was bad. Oh god.
It's just Konami's way of trolling.
I actually have a pretty good candidate for the worst TCG card in the game. It's a level 6 fusion. Are you guys familiar with the fusion card Sandwich?
Oh, that thing.
Sandwich is a level 6 fusion card that is fusion summoned with Sandagan and Witch of the Black Forest. So you can't poly into it, and you can't instant fusion into it. The only thing you can summon it is with the monster that lets you have your life points to summon it, and that's banned. So I don't think there's any way in the game to summon it, which I think is pretty useless. So I think that's the most useless card in the game.
Well, how about Griffin's Feather Duster?
Well, yeah,
That lone sniper that everybody owns.
but at least you can get it on the field. How about that?
You could set it.
At least you could set it.
MST bait. Okay, it's not going to
You can't put this card on the board.
Well, there's also the fact that somebody could basically use Roll Decree on it, but...
Ooh.
Yeah, so like...
You froze my Griffin's Feather Duster. What am I going to do?
I'm honestly trying to remember, like, what are some of those that came out early on that people were using before? It was most of like the vanillas that aren't even used as polymerization material, and they're not Ojamas. I think those are probably some that are pretty useless, at least.
Oh wait, I take that back. There's only one way in the TCG to summon Sandwich. There's only one way. You have to have this flip effect monster called Summoner of Illusions.
Oh,
yeah. Basically, you flip it, the effect activates. You have to tribute one other monster, and if you do, you get a special one fusion from your extra deck, and then you have to destroy that fusion at the end phase. So it's already a -2. It's already a -2, and that's no one's gonna play this card. But I take that back. You actually can get sandwich on the board, albeit for one turn only.
God, dude.
Oh, I guess you could skill drain, so you can negate Summer's effect, negating the destruction. But no one's gonna do this, okay? But that's already a -2,
All
and
that
then
word.
a -1k life points for skill drain, just to have sandwich on the game.
Oh God, that's a lot of work for a sandwich.
I'll do it. Oh wait.
Let's see. Trying to think. What are some of the actually? If we're gonna be talking about like some other ones, how about like other type of extra deck cards that are pretty much useless for anybody to even use? Because
What's that?
let's talk about more like extra deck stuff that people don't even use for the TCG or OCG.
Oh, okay.
Because I know of one, and it's for Xseeds. I believe it's Pearl, like Gem Knight Pearl. If anybody remembers that one,
Has nobody? What? Does
it's
nobody use Gem Knight Pearl anymore?
I don't think so. It's mostly that one card. It's like a generic rank 4, 2600 attack, and it has no effect. Everybody pretty much uses all monsters that have effects, and yeah,
Yeah,
it's pretty much just like just a basic beat stick for the most part.
well, yeah, but I mean, I don't consider Gem Knight Pearl all that bad. I mean, you can't hit it with Fiendish Chain because it has no effect.
Well, I mean, I guess that could be right, but it's just I don't know. It's just nobody has any desire to use it, so it's
Yeah,
like
no, it's just a subpar option is what it is.
let's see. Let's see another one. What's that one card where it's like you detach, then discard, draw one?
Detach, discard, draw one.
It's that one where it's like the guy is on the horse and he's like a skeleton with a sword or something like that. I
Oh,
cannot remember his
Illuminati.
name. Yes, that one.
Yeah, one of the first numbers ever printed, and nobody uses him.
Because there's so many better draw options to be able to use. It's like, oh, we could probably go for 101 Exoton Knight, or heck, maybe just go for a Mace Stroke. Oh,
Yeah,
this
Maestro
Illuminati, we'll just go with him.
is better than Illuminati, like several times over.
I still call him Illuminati because the fact that it's like just a play on word type of joke with his name.
Oh my God. Yeah,
The puns you can
it's
make with him.
there's several there's a lot of extra deck stuff that has just fallen out of favor because Konami gets ridiculous with their card effects. What's that one? I've never seen anybody use it. Kachi Kochi Dragon.
Oh, that thing, yeah, the 2100 monster thing.
Yeah, I've never seen anybody use that card, and it was like one of the first rank 4s ever.
Yeah, I think, I mean, if its attack was slightly more, then I could probably see it being used, but hardly just nobody uses it. Because I got so much other better choices.
Yeah. Here's here's a really like it's not an extra deck card. It's a really old card, but it was just bad in its design in the first place. Like it's pretty much unusable. Its effect is, and well, it's not unusable, but its effect makes it just terrible in the first place.
Wait, which one is it?
It's a Boar Soldier.
Oh, that thing was like 2000 attack.
Yeah,
Oh man, that was back when it was like Magic Ruler, I think it was the set.
well, here's its effect. This card can only be summoned by a flip summon, right? It has 500 defense. All right. The very next line, if this card is summoned by a normal summon, this card is destroyed. How do you normal summon it if you can't normal summon it because you can only summon it by a flip summon? So that line is completely useless in the effect. And if your opponent has one or more monsters under his control, decrease attack of this card by 1,000 points. So it goes down to 1,000 attack. And it can only be summoned by Flipstone. It has 500 defense. It's like impossible to keep on the field without an extra bit of effort on your part. It's very, very bad.
Sorry about that. There was like something going on in the background.
Yeah, I hear that. There's a lot of bad cards back then, and luckily they've. I think just for shits and giggles, they print like you have a set and you see like take Duelist Alliance, good example. 3 very powerful, overdone archetypes that are just gonna wreck face when they come out, and in it there's always one card in a set like that or any set that's just bad. Or it's just a worse version of an existing card, and there's like no point in them printing it other than just being filler.
Oh yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to see like some of the other ones from like older sets because I cannot remember many that were out at the
No,
time.
I can't either. It's been a long time.
Let's see. Not Violet Crystals. The 13th Grave. That was a normal common monster. Yeah, there really just wasn't anything. I think like mostly a lot of. Well, I wouldn't really say any of the heal cards because those things are just old.
Back when gaining life points was a good thing.
Oh yes. Let's see. Wow. Blue Eyes White Dragon was a common. Like
Wow.
for the OCG.
And thus began the rarity bumping. Jeez. I didn't know they started that far back.
Yeah, I didn't even know they did that because like I'm currently looking and some of their rares was Book of Secret Arts, Flame Swordsman, Aquamador, and then Umi. I still remember a few people that actually used Umi back then, but nowadays it's still just a card for collectors.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean there was oh god, I remember it was off of you remember those like Yu-Gi-Oh! Beckett magazines that they used to sell in bookstores?
I still have one.
Did you ever get one of the articles where it would be talking about like the top 5 worst cards of so and so sets?
No, not in this one. They talk about how good Invasion of Chaos is going to be when it comes out.
Oh god, when that set was coming out, there's like so many broken things. But I remember one of the issues I picked up. It was over at Books A Million in 2002, and they were talking about the top 5 worst cards from Legend of Blue Eyes all the way to Pharaoh Servant. And I think it was at number 3, they were talking about Solemn Judgment being one of the worst cards in the set, all because you pay half your life points to negate.
Oh
They
my
said
God.
it was a big cost considering you could lose the game to a Blue Eyes White Dragon.
That's awesome.
And I just remember that quote, and it's like, why would you say something like that? And
It's like, oh, you got to remember the times that this was printed in. Oh man. It's
and
like,
of all
this
yeah, out
card.
of all the things, they could have just picked, Black Pendant, which was like a super rare back then. And I remember pulling that thinking it was like, yeah, it was my first super ever pulling. But, gosh, yeah, I just remember that quote and I laughed at that.
God, dude. Yeah, Solemn Judgment, worst card, North America, because Blue Eyes is a thing. Oh, yeah.
And then the card that was like right under it at number 4 was that was Bat or whatever it was from Pharaoh Servant. It was that 1,000 attack 3-star wing beast.
Was it literally
monster.
just called Bat?
Or whatever it was? It was Bats or something like that.
Metabat?
I think it was.
Oh. Did it look like a big eyeball with horns and wings?
No, it was like a bunch of bats all into one picture. But it wasn't
I
much
have no
attack.
idea then.
God, it was like so long ago, but I remember they were ranking that like right under Solemn Judgment.
Jeez, man. Solemn Judgment got a bad rap back then.
for Beckett, but nobody knows Psalm Judgment as this like herp derp negation spell trap thingy.
Yeah, and it got limited then banned. Oh, worst card ever. Yeah.
Just because you lose so much life points just to stop your opponent from doing whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much all I can really think of, mostly from like some of the older sets. But God,
Yeah, the almighty blue eyes determines.
it'll just trample anyone. Yeah, Blue Eyes is too OP for this format.
Yes, right.
But in any case, let's see. I don't think there's really anything else I could think of at the moment for terrible cards, but maybe we'll try to talk about that at a different time whenever more people are on here, because it's just been kind of quiet with like a lot of the members absent over the
Yeah.
past few weeks. But
Any cards, any example of bad cards would be any of them that require a banned card to actually be usable in the game.
yeah, that I will agree with.
Any of those, yeah.
It's still nice to be able to look at them, but it's for me personally, it'd be like the required, you know, type of stipulations to be able to use these type of effects. I think it's just, oh god, it's one of the hard things about them to be able to bring them out and use their effects, which makes them useless to begin with.
Let's see, was it Call to the Grave? It like negates Monster
Yeah,
Reborn.
yeah,
And
I remember that one.
It's like those two. Those are two of the bad ones, especially
Yeah.
Call to the Grave. It's like that one moment when your opponent activates Monster Reborn and you have it set.
See, I never really saw anybody attempt to try to use that before because I
That's
didn't
right.
even think that card even existed.
It does, and like, of course, nobody would use it. It's so dead and it's so specific that it would be near impossible to use. And like the blue moon opportunity you get to actually use it would probably feel amazing. But outside of that,
Yeah, there was actually another one that did the same thing, but it was mostly for Call of the Haunted.
yeah,
It's, but I mean, still you can use that, but it's like you have like so many better options to use other than that, like MST or Dark Bribe or something else.
right.
But yeah, I mean, there's like a lot of cards that are out there that I cannot even think of at the moment.
Yeah, there's way too many.
So yeah, that's pretty much something to just get out of the way for now. But we'll, like I said, probably think about it at a different time. So let's see. I don't think there's really any Q&A questions for tonight again because I think it's just, the fact that everybody's just been dead for a while now that it's just nobody wants to submit like any Q&A stuff. But if there's any topics you want to like discuss before we end it, we could definitely do that.
How about the fact that all the Yang Zing cards are supers and up?
Yeah, there's like certain
That's ridiculous.
yeah, it's certain sets that are like that. I know Quaki Meru has done that a lot with their cards, other than Diamond Core. But I think it's mostly, what was it, like certain archetypes that they know are going to be pretty good tier decks.
Was all of the initial Quackamerus the first time they were debuted super and up?
Let's hold it. Go ahead, keep talking.
Like, well, the way what is it? Yang Zings are super and up. It's like reminding me of spell books. I know spell books weren't all like max rarity, but it seems like all the good ones, including Judgment. Judgment was secret. And you got Priestess, which is secret. You got Blue Boy, which is ultra and ultimate, and then you got Book of Secrets, which was ultra. So you have an archetype that was pushed basically as far up the rarity ladder as it could get from its Japanese counterpart. And Shadow's, the archetype that was actually hyped up by everyone else, ended up being rares and commons outside of its fusions, which are ultra, and its fusion spell, which is a super. Basically, you got the Dragon Ruler treatment, whereas all the main deck, the main deck stuff is rare and commons, and the extra deck ended up being what the higher rarity stuff that is actually going to run you money. So Shadows pretty much are going to be everywhere instead of more controlled by their high rarity, controlling their price range and their availability. Instead, they're all commons and rares.
Yeah, very sorry about that. There was like something going on outside.
It's alright.
But yeah, it's just the rarity bumps for just most like very popular archetypes. I've noticed that there's been a lot of bumps in like changing the rarity ratio for these cards, so it's weird to see that. But I think it'd probably be better to see some of this stuff get printed like how it is in the OCG.
Well, the thing with Yang Zings is obviously one of the popular archetypes in the set. But Shadows was what everybody was hyping. Like, everybody was like, Shadow. That's all anybody cared about. But instead of the Shadows being the higher rarity archetype of the set, all the Yang Zings took all those slots nearly. And the rarity being high on an archetype is what partially controls its availability and how widespread it is. With them being this low rarity, they're going to be as widespread as Dragon Rulers were.
Yeah. Also, is it odd to see that the cover card Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon, that it's not an ultra rare like how a lot of the other cover cards were?
Yeah, they're starting to change that up more recently. Like when they started, before Duelist Alliance, and I think before the previous one, they were the cover card was the Ghost. That was guaranteed. But now they started making it where particular cards in the set are Ghost rares, but the cover card is usually Secret, Ultra, and Ultimate. But this time they dropped the Ultra Rare rarity on him. He's just Ultimate and Secret, which is fine by me. I like my ultis. But the Ultra, it seems they wanted to fit in another Ultra Rare in the slot, and that's probably either Chiwin, the Light Tuner, or the Trap for the Yang Zing's creation.
For which rarity?
Ultra Rare.
Oh, okay.
Because, the Shadow fusions are Ultras. Winda only comes as an Ultra, according to this, and Construct only comes as Ultimate Rare. I don't know how true that would be, but I'm assuming they wanted an extra Ultra Rare slot, or they just dropped the face card from being a particular rarity in general, or they just wanted a specific card to be ultra rare, and I'm assuming that had to be Yang Zings, because like I said, they are pushed as far as they can go without being basically a ghost rare face card.
Yeah, as far as the ghost rare part is concerned, I think that what was it? Not Primal Origins, but Legacy of the Valiant. I thought that the Monarch card being a ghost rare, I thought was a very weird choice for Hollow.
I definitely agree with that. That was a strange choice for it to be ghost rare.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, the card's decent, but I think whenever I think of like ghost rare, I think of something that a lot of people are gonna mostly use, like how it is with Stardust Dragon. Even though the card's been out for a while now, it still gets used every now and then.
It was also a face card.
Oh yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. And I thought that, what was it, C101? I thought that would have been awesome on its own to be able to get itself as a ghost rare.
Yeah, that's pretty nice though. I mean, I'm a little biased towards ghost rares. I don't particularly like them. I mean, they're nice and shiny and all, but I like to be able to see the picture. And if you can't, at certain angles of the card, it just looks like a white blank square. I'm not really fond of them, but I mean, other people are obviously.
Oh yeah.
But they made Delteros the ghost of this set. Stellar Knight Delteros.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's a generic rank 4, takes 3 materials, so I suppose he could be used if your deck can support him good enough to use him, because he puts a nasty restriction on your opponent's summoning. So
wait a minute, does the materials have to only be Stellar Knights, or can it be like any?
It's generic 3 level 4s.
Huh.
Oh no! He restricts your opponent's ability to stop your summons, is what he does.
Okay, I got you. So this means like no compulse or bottomless or
Right.
warning.
While he has an exceed material, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects when you normal or special summon a monster.
What's its attack power?
2,500.
That's actually really good.
Yeah. He's
Honestly,
nasty.
honestly, I could see this being thrown in for Star Seraphs because they've got a monster now that where it's like whenever you special summon out a Star Seraph monster, you special summon it from the hand. So yeah, that would be just broken as hell to be able to use in that deck.
Yeah, anything that could spam out level 4s to make Delteros, that would be an excellent like wall between you and your opponent. You can just keep if you keep him on the field, you can summon without restriction pretty much. Yeah. Not to
That's
mention when
really
he's ran
good.
in his own deck. If he's ran in his own deck, you kill him and he gets a free Stellar Knight from your hand or deck, thus getting its effect and causing the chain of summons that Stellar Knights are so good at.
Jeez, yeah, that would be really good to use in most decks, but again, a lot of time you would have to try to get those three materials out. But yeah, once I do try to build Star Seraphs, I'm mostly definitely gonna try to get me a copy of that.
hmm Have you
Nice.
have you seen the Ultimate or Ultra Athlete cards?
Ultra Athlete for which set?
Duelist Alliance. There's 3 of them.
Don't think so actually.
They are giving us two of them. There's 2 of them. They're level 5 Earth Warriors, and then a field spell called Ultra Athlete Stadium that says when you normal summon an Ultra Athlete, you can add an Ultra Athlete monster from your deck to your hand, and there's no restriction to that.
Hmm.
You can do it every time, or obviously you only normal summon once. But if you haven't used double summon with them and you summon 2 of them, you can search twice. There's no restriction to that search. And once per turn, if an Ultra Athlete monster is special summoned to your side of the field, all monsters you control gain 500 attack. But other than the field spell's okay, but the 2 monsters themselves are what's interesting. Because if Ultra Athletes ever get a level 4s that they can normal summon, a
Mhm.
level 4, anything they can normal summon that has Ultra Athlete in their name without tribute, because these are level 5s. Slugger, 2,300 attack. And both of them have the effect that say you can special summon this card from your hand by returning an Ultra Athlete you control to your hand. So you bounce one to special summon another one. So they tag out each other. You can only summon that specific card once that turn, whatever its name is. You can't resummon it back over and over. Slugger's effect, his own effect, is if this card attacks, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects until the damage step, just like Ancient Gear monsters have. Perfect Ace, which is the other monster, has 2,500 defense, and he acts like Perfect Herald. He says, once per turn during your opponent's turn, when a card or effect is activated, you can discard a card, negate it, and if you do, destroy it. So they have this little thing going where on your turn, you play
Keep
Mighty
talking. I'm
Slugger.
gonna go take care of something right quick.
Okay. You play Mighty Slugger and swing. Your opponent can't stop him because of his effect with any like battle traps. Main phase 2, you bounce him back to your hand, especially in perfect ace in defense mode. So when it goes to their turn, you have ace up to negate something. If he survives, goes back to your turn, you bounce him, resummon Slugger, and swing at him, and you just repeat this, and you just supplement that strategy with any spells and traps, like the field spell. Though the field spell doesn't work out. The only effect you're going to get from the field spell with these 2 right now is the attack boost, because there's no normal summonable monster yet without tribute because they're level 5. So those are the 3 that they've given us so far. So they've already got this kind of negate and attack without restriction loop that they can keep pulling off.
Okay, sorry about that. Just a little complication tonight.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll be an interesting thing to check out because I gotta go to the sneak peek anyway since I run it and be able to see what everybody pulls. So it'd be interesting to see like what these cards are.
They interest me a lot. If those 2 monsters are level 5, I have a feeling the entire archetype might be level 5. I don't know. But if they get level 4s and lower, so they get their normal summon effect, That archetype
yeah.
would be really fun to play.
Yeah, we'll most definitely see what happens with the deck once everything is released for it, and it's going to be interesting to see like what everybody pulls tomorrow at the sneak peek event.
Right. I hope everybody pulls stuff that I want. Yeah.
Most definitely have to see like what everybody pulls at least. So I definitely need to get a hold of 3 of the Batteryman V, which or
Oh yeah.
V9.
I'm looking forward to that too. 9V, Batterman 9 volt.
And the thing is, it's a common, so I mean that's like plus right there because a lot of the commons they've been releasing as of late have been really really good.
Yeah, the old archetype support, it's all been commons, and it's just amazing.
That's why I was happy about the whole scrap and Kwakimeru commons.
Absolutely.
Oh, so, any case, that's probably going to do it for us tonight, mostly for the fact that I think we mostly talked long enough about all the topics, and also for the fact that it's late, and I'm pretty sure a lot of the guys that were supposed to be here tonight had some problems trying to get over to the event the evening.
Yeah, probably.
So, yeah, we're going to try to see about getting everybody together, hopefully, maybe in a couple of weeks, because I think it's just been very rough on everybody. So, we'll have to see what happens in the coming weeks. And also, just stay tuned to the Facebook page, because we'll make an announcement about if we're going to do one for next week or if it's just going to be pretty much a relaxing week for us.
Right.
So, any case, thanks again to everybody that watched us this evening. Very sorry it was very short, but we'll try to make it longer next time when everybody else is not as busy. So from all of us here at DRT and the official DRT YouTube channel, thank you very much for watching episode 5 of the DRTcast here on August 8th. So until next time, play the cards right so we don't have to.
That's right. Good luck at your